defeated. The people united will never be 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 defeated.
I think Pat wants to, where was that? Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I don't know anything about microphones, but you might be able to talk quiet in case you have some. Your voice might not be able to come out. I don't know. Oh, no, that's just a thought. Yeah, oh, I have a sentence. I pick songs that everyone else. Thank you. That is one of the songs.
Good, yay!
If I can get everyone that is facing the street to turn this way, we're going to start the program. You can hold your signs up because the signs are in the background.
Good morning. You can do better than that. Good morning. My name's Pat McGuire. I'm honored to be your MC. We have a distinguished, dynamic list of speakers. But first, hold up those signs. Hold up your signs. Thank you all very much for being here. I also want to thank the organizing committee, of which I'm proud to be a member. I want to thank the sponsoring organizations, In Unison, Indivisible, Working Families Will County, National Organization for Women. I also want to acknowledge the Joliet Police Department for respecting our right to assemble and speak. And I can't forget Patrick Watson of Indivisible, our leader. Patrick asked me to make a few announcements. In order to defeat extreme MAGA policies, we have to elect members of Congress that reflect our values. Indivisible, Illinois hosts phone banks every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. We call into deep red districts to let them know how their elected officials voted on cuts to Medicare and Medicaid. We ask you to join us. You can find the link to RSVP on our website, indivisibleillinois.org. We also have a neighborhood canvas program. Those of us who have run for office know there's nothing better than knocking on doors. We also have a neighborhood canvas program. We will be going into districts that Trump won in areas where we saw a shift towards Trump and talking with voters about what issues they are concerned with. You can sign up to canvas in these districts or in your own neighborhood, again, at indivisibleillinois.org. Finally, on June 28th, we will hold our Indivisible Illinois State Convening in Champaign. It will be a full day of strategic planning with Indivisible members from across the state, coalition partners, and policymakers. You can RSVP at our website, indivisibleillinois.org. This rally here in Joliet. Okay. This rally here in Joliet, it's rare for a politician to be asked to speak louder. This rally makes me prouder of my hometown of Joliet than I've ever been. This is one of 4,000 No King rallies across the country. And you know why we're here? Because we want an administration that is guided by justice, not by malice. Before I bring on our speakers, I want to briefly tell you why this is useful. I worked in job health and safety because I worked in some really dangerous places. And back in March, the Trump administration laid off 92% of the staff members of NIOSH, NIOSH is the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health. It's existed since 1970. NIOSH evaluates workplace hazards. It also certifies personal protective equipment, such as KN95 masks, respirators worn by firefighters and miners, men and women in other hazardous occupations. The Trump administration laid off 92% of the staff and closed all 8 offices across the country. We spoke up. We spoke up from coast to coast. Recently, members of Congress got the message, they felt the heat. They forced the administration to bring back 1/4 of the staff that was laid off. That's a victory. That's a victory. That means that our pressure is working. But obviously, it's only a partial victory. We need all 900 employees of NIOSH who work to protect American workers, who work to prevent job-caused disease. We need them all brought back. So we've made some progress. We got to keep up the pressure, and I'm proud to introduce our first speaker, who's going to tell us how to keep up the pressure. State Representative from the 98th District, Natalie Manley.
Why do I have to follow Pat McGuire? He is the best. I walked up and I said, "This is where you've been." You guys, I don't consider myself a protester or somebody who can bring a crowd to their feet. But I'm telling you what, after what I saw in California this week, what they did to an elected senator in California, that is the beginning of the end if we don't do something. They are taking the people that you voted for and arresting them and carting them away. Your voice is being snuffed out. We have got to look out, number one, look out for each other. We do things within the law. This is our right. We can protest peacefully. That is our God-given right under the United States Constitution. We will not break the law. We love our country. The flag belongs to us too. We are patriots. We are the real patriots. In Illinois, our governor went to Capitol Hill and they tried to embarrass him. But what did JB do? That's what he did. My husband's gonna die because he just saw me do that. We have got to stick together. We have got to look out for each other. Don't let anyone trip your trigger. Don't let them draw you into any kind of confrontation. We are on the right side of this. What they're trying to do to Illinois by cutting life-saving dollars for the least of us. In Illinois, we care about people. I am never, ever going to apologize for caring about people. Let's make sure we do this. It's going to be a long summer, everybody. This is going to go on all summer. But we can outlast him. Thank the police for keeping us safe. Watch out for your neighbor. And let's keep up the pressure. Thank you, everybody.
Next, a concerned citizen, an employee of the Joliet Public Library, who's going to address a really dire threat to one of the sinews of democracy, public libraries. Please welcome Valerie Devine.
Well, thank you, Pat. I am not a skilled orator like the two people before me, so I have a few minutes. To be clear, I'm not here to do anything other than share some facts about one specific executive order whose impact is not limited to any one gender, race, or socioeconomic group. As of June 10th, 2025, President Donald Trump has signed 161 executive orders, 43 memoranda, and 66 proclamations in his second presidential term, which began, as we all know, on January 20th. But I just want to talk about one. On March 14th, 14th, President Trump issued Executive Order 14238, which seemingly intended to dismantle the only federal agency dedicated to funding library services, the Institute of Museum and Library Services, also known as IMLS. The order aimed to reduce the federal bureaucracy targeting IMLS, which provides federal funding to libraries and museums across the country. The IMLS distributes grants and funding to state libraries and other grant recipients. The ALA, American Library Association, and AFSCME, American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, filed a federal lawsuit challenging the administration's actions as unlawful and sought a preliminary injunction to halt the dismantling process during the lawsuit. Unfortunately, a recent court ruling allowed the Trump administration to proceed with efforts to dismantle the IMLS. Staff have already been terminated from their roles. Promised and needed federal grants have been canceled. At the Joliet Public Library, the cuts to IMLS can trickle down from the national to state level and jeopardize our per capita grant, which is over $230,000, as well as our system interlibrary loan delivery, which allows patrons to receive books from all over the state and country. Nationally, the impact threatens to cut funding for programs like our beloved National Summer Reading Program, interlibrary loans, database access to information, pivotal early literacy, preserving our cultural heritage, fostering community engagement, providing essential services to diverse populations. Congress has the power to override an executive order by passing legislation. They can also refuse to fund the other's provisions. Libraries and museums across the country express concerns about the potential impact of the executive order on their programs and services. In Joliet alone, in 2024, we logged the following statistics, which all run the risk of being negatively impacted with the cuts. 2,433 on-site programs with 72,971 attendees. 396 off-site programs with 19,158 attendees. 94 virtual programs with 155 for a total of 2,923 programs impacting over 92,000 people. In conclusion, I would emphasize the profound and far-reaching negative impacts of defunding the IMLS. I would strongly advocate for its continued and robust financial support, urging action based on specific content of this discussion. Potential calls to action might include contacting elected officials, educating our communities, collaborating with national and state and library museum associations, highlighting the tangible benefits that IMLS funding brings to our local institutions. Let me be clear, defunding the IMLS would be a disservice to our communities, our cultural heritage, and our nation's commitment to education and access to information. We must stand together to protect this essential institution. Thank you.
I used to teach English. Can you imagine being stripped of the right to read what you choose? Thank you, Val. Next, representing the upper chamber of the Illinois General Assembly, 43rd District State Senator Rachel Ventura.
Thank you, I'm a little short. Hello, everyone. I'm State Senator Rachel Ventura, and I want to thank you all for being here. I also want to thank Patrick Watson for pulling this all together. The Indivisible, the working families of Will County, the Democratic Party, and my fellow speakers. It is because we are here together in solidarity that allows us to have our voices heard all the way to the Capitol, all the way to Springfield, and right here to your local elected officials. So thank you all for being brave and for coming out and using your non-violence voices. Today on Flag Day, we gather to remind America and the world that our government will never be ruled by kings, by billionaires, or corporations. The power has always belonged to the people, belong to the people. Right now, we face a federal government that acts like it's run by a cruel king, a man who wants total control of our bodies, our thoughts, and our future. But let me be clear that there will be no king in America, not today, not tomorrow, and not ever. In recent days, we've watched this administration break laws, use our military like our personal army, and spread fear and hate. But we know that hate cannot drive out hate. Only love and light can. We won't stop out the darkness with more darkness. We must rise above it, shine brighter, and drown out their cruelty with our compassion and our hard work during election time. Trump tries to divide us by scapegoating immigrants and tearing families apart. They use their power to hurt children and silence the vulnerable. But when we stand up for one family, we stand up for all families. We must never allow elected officials or government to go after our children and harm them. What does it say about someone who would use those tactics? They attack our schools and our diversity. They attack our schools and our diversity because they fear an educated, inclusive society that they cannot control. But we know a free, educated, diverse people are the true strength of this nation. And we will never be divided or silenced when we stand together like we do here today. In Washington, they plot to strip away our freedoms, our health care, and our basic support while handing out tax breaks to billionaires and letting corporations go wild. But we say no! 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 They want women and people of color back in the shadows. They want the rich richer and every American paying the price, but we won't let them. We say no! We say no! We say no! We say no! We are building a movement. This is a movement, not just a moment. A revolution of respect, equality, and common sense. And we demand a government that works for all of us, not just the wealthy few. We want health care that doesn't bankrupt us, schools that lift up our kids that won't bankrupt them, jobs that pay a living wage, and green investments that will protect our planet for generations to come. When we take care of each other and we take care of Mother Earth, it takes care of us and our communities take care of us. I dream of a world where the Trumps will never win because neighbors look out for each other and communities celebrate diversity and love triumphs over hate. Each of us has this power within us. Every day, your daily actions and your kindness and your courage, you care for each other and you show up. It is harder to do the right thing, especially today, but every moment that you choose a moment of love and kindness, we fight back. So it starts with each of us. It starts in our minds and our mindsets. It starts in how we treat ourselves, our family, and our neighbors. When we choose hope and compassion and community over fear and greed and hate, we change the narrative and we fight back against their evil ways. So I encourage you to keep speaking out, keep organizing, keep exercising your right for nonviolent protest, keep voting, keep showing up for yourself and for each other. When we do this, they can't break us. When we stand together, we shine too bright for their darkness to win. This is our country. There will be no kings here, not in our government, not in our neighborhoods, and not in our futures. Let us rise up for love, for justice, and each other. Are you with me?
you, Senator. Senator Ventura mentioned health care. I am proud to introduce a longtime fighter for equitable, effective health care in our community, Pat Mead. Pat is one of the founders of the INA, Illinois Nurses Association unit at St. Joe's Hospital, St. Joe's Nurses Association. She's a fighting member of Working Families Will County. My friend, Pat Mead.
All right, everyone. One thing that resonated from all the things that I've heard today, and that is we are one and we have to fight together. So you want to know about the state of health care. But we're not going to talk about the United States. We're going to talk about Will County, and we're going to talk about Illinois. So I've got some facts here for you that should be very eye-opening and how it is affecting us in our communities. Primary care shortage. There is 1,760 doctors per one. Now, does that explain when you go to the doctor, you can't get an appointment, they'll give you like months out. When you do get there, you're there for 2-3 hours because in some of these cases, some of the physicians that I've spoken with have been given 10 minutes per patient and move on. And have been talked to and don't do that when you do it and we told you what to do. How can you, with all of our comorbidities that we have as we grow older, and even in our children and youth, you need more time than that. You have to diagnose and you want to make us healthy, but it seems this administration wants to let us fail, let us be ill, let us not be able to reach out and get the health care that we need and provide. We can't afford health care. You have to go home. What I want you to do for me is if I'm helping each other, I want you to go home and I want you to look at your insurance policy. I want you to call and have a conversation. I don't care if you're tier 1 or tier 2, because that's how they get you. You think that tier 1 you have everything, but if there are no doctors on tier 1, and they're sending you out your area code and out of the state to get the care that you need, what is that? How is that helping you? If you're tier 2, that's where they push you. So you can get the care you want, but the cost will be so astronomical that then it puts you in a financial deficit, attempting to only receive the care that you need. Sorry, keep standing for you. All right, now, to bring it home, zip code 60433, East Side Joliet. They have a shortage of primary care, dental care, mental health care, particularly affecting white males 25 to 44 years old who have an income of $35,000. Dentists to the population, the ratio is 1,830 to 1. That's nearly 16% that report that they do not have primary health care. When we utilize our urgent care systems, like our Prime and our Silver Cross, you are going in because you have nowhere else to go. You can't afford it, but then we locked up the system for the emergencies, and I'm not saying don't go because you need to go wherever you can get care for your immediate illnesses. Okay, so now, we are underserved and the underinsured. 120,000 people in Will County are Medicaid. 7.24 are uninsured. Where does that leave us? Where does it leave our people? And what you're hearing from the news that the pseudo king is trying to do is to attack what used to be, do we even have a middle class anymore? I really don't think so, because we are all struggling to just survive. You can't go buy a loaf of bread. You definitely can't pay for your medicine. I've gone to the medication to get my medication. It was more expensive than the month before that I went. We have patients that are getting ill because they're not taking their medication because they can't afford it. Or they're splitting it. They're taking one, maybe every other day. Maybe they just quit. I had a patient last week, told me he just quit taking it and told his doctor he quit taking it because he couldn't afford it. What is that? This is America. I advise you, talk to your physician. Tell him I can't afford my medicine. look up in that pharmacy book, find something that will also help you. You can also talk to your pharmacist. They have connections. If you have to go and get the good lady, whoever, to make sure that you've got to get your medications. For the simple reason that the sicker we are and the limited health care providers that we have lost so many doctors in this area. I advise you to go home next week. You need to call your doctor. See if he's still here. We had a nurse call me the other day. Her pediatrician, her child from birth, love, can't find it, gone. You don't know it. They used to send you a letter to say that they're leaving, but they're being fought with so much animosity. They're being pushed against the wall. They want them to go and take call in 4 different hospitals, like Lawrence, Silver Cross, up in Bolingbrook. They can't do that and take care of their own patients. Our surgeons are leaving. Our nurses are leaving. Your prime care providers are not available for you. This is why you have to go and strategically check. When I tell you about your insurance, I am so serious. Find out what you can get, how much it's going to pay you. Are you going to be in debt forever based on you had to go to Chicago to get the care that you needed because we didn't provide it here because our physicians are gone? One of the main things that we must do, and that is that you've got to do your screening. Please, I beg you. Because of the healthcare system and how it is now, if they label you with a pre-existing condition, that's going to delay you because they figure, okay, we're gonna you break your leg, okay, we fix your leg. Then they send you to therapy. They won't let you go to the therapy at the prescribed hospital. They want you to do it at home. Then once you get better, then they send you to a clinic. So they're limiting the services we have. Our sickest of the sick, which is our cardiovascular, our heart, our lung, our children, diabetics. When you think about a man that would put his emphasis on research, we don't need it, then how do we survive? Look at what happened with COVID. Had we not had the medications, and look at the number of people who died, who did get the medications, but it was too late. So again, you have to do your screenings. You have to look out for yourself. Look out for your elderly. Make sure that we are taking care of each other. If someone tells you there's an excellent neurologist, share that because they need to know where to go. When you walk in your doctor's office and that doctor is no longer there, the nurse practitioners who are doing amplification, they're no longer there, then what do you do? What do you do? Again, it is up to us. We need to do what we can do to stay healthy, and we have to work together. And I applaud our civic and civil servants who are busting it to try to protect us and save us. We have to support them, but then we have to support each other. Stand up and speak as you are today. I'm so proud, and I thank you.
Thank you, Pat. I would next like to introduce to you a member of the Joliet Township High School Board, District 204, Michelle Stiff. Michelle.
I don't know why you're here, but let me tell you why I am.
Real close to the mic.
The President of the United States thinks that our hard-earned tax dollars is his piggy bank. Donald Trump is spending $45 million and gifted himself a big, beautiful military parade for his birthday, displaying his vanity and his made-for-TV display of dominance. I am Michelle Stiff. I'm a wife, a mother, a school board member, an educator, and I will be a candidate to be your next Will County clerk. I would also like to thank Indivisible Illinois, Patrick Watson, and the committee for organizing this event. I'm so glad to see many of you here to resist the fascist regime. It is incumbent for all of us to find our voice and our lane to develop our role in this movement. This movement is about rejecting hate in all its forms. It's choosing unity over division, regardless of race, regardless of gender, religion, sexual orientation, or identity, because every person deserves dignity, respect, and the freedom to live authentically. This movement also rejects that our bodies are battlegrounds for political control. This administration has been relentless in their attacks on reproductive rights, healthcare access, and personal freedom. Bodily autonomy is a fundamental and a human right. This movement also rejects policies that are rooted in fear, cruelty, and division, ripping families apart, vilifying asylum seekers, and shutting the door for those in need. Let's stand with an America that is welcoming to all, not America that cages. Before I close, let me say this. I didn't come here today just to speak. I came to stand. To stand with you. Stand for justice. Stand in defiance of a president who treats our tax dollars like his personal slush fund, fueling his ego with parades while families are struggling, while our freedoms are under attack. But I'm not discouraged, and neither should you be. So here's my charge to you. Get off the sideline, find your lane. You can organize, educate, create, vote, run for office, own it. Make your voice count at the ballot box. Help someone get registered, knock doors, and phone bank. And finally, again, I don't know why you came here today, but now you know why I did. I'm here because silence is not an option. I'm here because my children are watching. I'm here because our democracy depends on us showing up again and again. Thank you. Thank you.
Bravo, Michelle. Bravo. Bravo. Next, truly speaking to the moment, and to what is among the most threatening things the president has done. The executive director of the Spanish Community Center, Sylvia Acosta Chavez.
Thank you everyone for being here today, for standing up and choosing to care. The Spanish Community Center has supported Joliet and Will County for nearly 60 years, not just as a service provider, but as a place of trust and belonging. And today, we stand with all those fighting to be seen, safe, and treated justly. We stand with immigrant families, with youth and seniors, with Black and brown communities, with LGBTQ+ individuals, people with disabilities, with everyone fighting every day to live with dignity. And the truth is, the weight we're carrying as a nonprofit has never been heavier. Every day we witness the impact of uncertainties woven into daily life. We are seeing families who are too afraid to visit our food pantry, making the impossible decision to go without groceries rather than risk attention. We are seeing students in our ESL classes classes, once excited, thriving, and proud of their progress, stop attending because they no longer feel safe. We are seeing adults who qualify for health insurance choosing not to apply because they don't trust how their personal information will be used. We are being asked regularly by fine people if they should self-deport like the federal administration is suggesting, rather than being detained or disappearing like so many others have. We are being asked by parents if they can list SEC as a temporary guardian because they have no one else in the country and want to ensure that if they are separated, someone can help reunite them with their children. We have clients who have spent years working multiple jobs to purchase a home, not putting that dream on hold, unsure if new legislation could take away the rights they believe they have secured. Behind every one of those stories is a team. SEC serves people who are holding it together, sometimes by a thread, but always with pride and determination. Our team hears these stories every day, and even when we're exhausted, overwhelmed, or heartbroken, we stay. We rise to meet the need, because our work is love in action. But the toll is real. Our team bear not only the urgency of crisis response, but also the vicarious trauma that comes from hearing and seeing constant pain. As a community-based organization, we've had to respond and pivot quickly. We've introduced Know Your Rights workshops to equip community members with the tools to protect themselves during encounters with immigration enforcement. We consistently share legal resources so individuals and families can access support and representation. And yet, anxiety continues to reach into even our most joyful spaces. This year, out of an abundance of care and commitment to protecting our community, we made the difficult decision to cancel our Children's Day celebration, a vibrant event rooted in Latin American tradition that draws hundreds of families each year to honor and celebrate our local children. But choosing caution does not mean we are disappearing, abandoning our spaces, or giving up our culture. We remain unapologetically present. And we are not alone in this mission. Every effort we make is reinforced by all those who stand with us. Educators, advocates, faith leaders, and everyday people who refuse to look away. So here is my call to you. Support organizations who are doing the work. Nonprofits like SEC are meeting needs most people never see. But this responsibility requires more than passion. It requires resources, collaboration, and public will. We need funding, we need volunteers, policy change, and community support to sustain and strengthen our efforts. Invest in us because we will always prioritize our communities. Secondly, support your neighbors. Speak up for those who don't. Not because they don't want to, but because doing so could put them in harm's way. When your voice is safe, it becomes a responsibility. Use it. Protect, to uplift, and to stand in solidarity with those who are silenced by risk, fear, or circumstance. Lastly, support systemic change. Vote. I cannot emphasize this enough. Please vote. Yes. Organize. Pay attention to what's happening at every level of government. Demand laws that protect, not exclude. Demand systems that create opportunity instead of creating barriers. This work doesn't just belong to nonprofits or elected officials. It belongs to all of us. To everyone who believes that dignity, safety, peace, and access to rights are not privileges. And let us not forget, immigrants are not a burden. We are a gift. We do not come to take, we come to build. And we are not invisible, we are indispensable. This is what purpose looks like. This is what power feels like. We don't follow kings, we lead each other. And together, we form a shield, a refuge, and a light. And if you're here today, you're part of that. Whether you've been consistently on the front lines or just now joining the fight. Keep showing up. Yes, the road is long and the stakes are incredibly high, but we move forward together with courage and a clear demand for human rights. Thank you.
Sylvia, thank you for that eloquent, excellent, essential instructions on what we need to do. Thank you very much. You mentioned trauma. Our next speaker is a member of the Joliet Township High School Board. proud graduate of Joliet Central. She's also a licensed clinical social worker. Please welcome Lorraine Guerrero Newmayer.
Hear me first of all? Can you hear me now? Isn't that a song? So yes, my name is Lorraine, and I'm just going to tell you, I'm having, I'm afraid to disappoint you all. And the reason why I say that is because there's a lot of weight happening today. I had friends calling me up as soon as they found out I was speaking today. They were like, Lorena, make sure that you speak for all of us. We are scared. We cannot come out tomorrow. I have many friends that are undocumented. And I asked to speak after Sylvia because I wanted to show you that words, we are our stories, but each one of those stories that she shared, I'm sorry. Okay, let's try this one more time. All right. So I got asked, they said, make sure that you speak for everyone, all of our friends that cannot make it out today, because many of them are undocumented, or their spouses are undocumented, or their parents are undocumented. And I just want to let you know, just like Sylvia said, it's a gift. Really quick, I would like everyone to try to think about one or two people in their life that they could not live without. They would die without them. I want you to think about that person real quick. And I want you to think about going to work one day, coming home from school, and that person not being there. That's what Sylvia was talking about, right? So as a licensed clinical social worker and a trauma therapist, I made it a goal to be the person that wasn't there for me when I was a kid. Because when I was 6 years old, what's happening right now to families all across Joliet, Will County, in the United States of America, happens to me. When my father was deported, we talk about trauma symptoms as they're just things that are happening here and there. Everybody here has a story, by the way. Everybody can be up here now speaking, and that's kind of what we're asking you to do today, is to start speaking up for the people that cannot speak. When I was 6 years old, I could not speak. When my mom relapsed as a result of my father being deported, she could not speak. When my brothers and sisters and I were made a target, and endured physical abuse and sexual abuse, and we got put into foster care, no one stood up and spoke for us. Yes. I'm asking each one of you to have a story, to share that story. I don't care if you're doing it in person, I don't care if you're doing it online, I don't care if you're protesting, I don't care if you're doing it at the voting box, I don't care, just start speaking up and keep speaking up. Please. Trauma symptoms I need you to look out for and take care of in your students and your clients and your friends and your neighbors. Fear of strangers, well, duh. Easily startled, irritability, verbal abuse towards others, clinginess, headaches. I had a massive one before I got here. Increased competition, poor self-esteem, unusually high levels of anger, nightmares, sleep disorders. I don't know about some of you, but I haven't been sleeping for days. Avoidance of eye contact, sleeplessness, problems in the classroom, loneliness, alienation, loss of appetite, poor physical and emotional boundaries, suicidal thoughts. I wanted to kill myself pretty much every day from about 17 when I realized what my life was until about 36, and we won't talk about anything else on how that helped me besides therapy. But I want you to know that people like a nice package, right? They want to hear about the overcomers. There are people, again, that cannot be here because they did not overcome their trauma. Those are the people that are afraid to speak. And again, I did not speak until just about 10 years ago for the first time ever. Natalie, Manley, who's here today, gave me the opportunity to speak, and I haven't really shut up. And by the way, can we talk about Natalie Manley real quick? Natalie Manley actually recently just did something for all students in the great state of Illinois, and she helped pass the safe bills for all to make sure that kids can go to school, whether it's kindergarten or their senior year, and be safe. Thank you, Natalie Manley.
again, I didn't want to write anything down about the trauma symptoms, but I'm so afraid of being afraid. This has plagued me my whole damn life, and I want you guys to go out there, like I said, speak up, run for office, be a teacher, be the counselor that speaks up and saves your child. Thank you.
AFT Local 604, of which I'm proud to say my wife Laura was a member for 30 years, member of the Executive Board, the Negotiating Committee at Joliet Junior College, is one of the strengths of this movement, statewide, nationally. Our next speaker is President of the Kankakee School District 111 Faculty Council, AFT Local 604. Please welcome Beth Anderson.
Hello, testing, 1, 2.
Look at you, Joliet. Look at Will County. I believe there are far more people here today than anticipated. I stand here today as a public educator, an advocate for persons with disabilities, and a union leader. My grandfather, a World War II veteran, my father, Vietnam, and my husband, the Gulf War. My husband then used his GI Bill to become a public educator. My mother, a paraprofessional, my oldest daughter, a teacher, my daughter-in-law, a teacher, and my youngest daughter, a school psychologist. We are proud servants, and I can't help at this time to feel the deepest betrayal. What is happening in our communities, in our country, it's heartbreaking. It's disappointing, it's gut-wrenching, and it's terrifying. 30 years ago, when I started my career as a special ed teacher, I felt so privileged to be part of the staff of the school that I once attended. At that time, the field was competitive, and sometimes teachers had to sub for a couple years in the district before they could even attain a teaching position. Never could I have forecasted that not only is the field no longer competitive, it's now a career path that is discouraged. Last year, Illinois nearly had 4,000 teacher vacancies. Thousands of our children were without licensed teachers and clinicians. Even more concerning is that those who do choose education leave within the first, many are leaving within the first 5 years. I could have never predicted that my goal to serve students with disabilities would make me a target, a villain. That after borrowing and spending thousands of dollars to be a highly qualified teacher, that I would be accused of choosing this career so that I could indoctrinate children with political ideology. And just about that, I promise you when I'm laying in bed at night, I'm not thinking about indoctrinating children. I'm stressing about all the paperwork I didn't finish, all the calls I didn't have time to make. I'm hoping the student I haven't seen in a couple days comes back to school, and I'm grappling with the disappointment in myself because I couldn't meet the need of every student every day. And when I wake up, I go to work, and I walk in my classroom, and that's where I feel the purest joy. Because for me, there's nothing like witnessing a student learning something new and realizing their talents. And I work with, and I have met hundreds of educators that love their work just as much as me. Over the past 30 years, I've experienced ebbs and flows of budget concerns and program cuts. However, this is different. This is an outright attack to dismantle public education. And I understand public education isn't perfect, but it sure isn't worthy of a wrecking ball. Our school district in Kankakee supports the early childhood programs for the county, First Taste and Head Start. We serve a little over 600 students with home visits, half-day preschool, and full-day programs. In the last few months, we were notified that the federal government zeroed out funding beginning in the 26-27 school year. Currently, after some organizing and advocacy, funding has been restored, but at a flat level. So no resources, additional resources or staffing. Sometimes this means pay cuts for our teachers and staff. Again, our pre-K staff members are used to no raises or cuts, and they come back year after year after year. But completely eliminating education and early intervention for 3, 4, and 5-year-olds is beyond disgusting. Who does that? Who the hell comes after 3, 4, and 5-year-olds? We know exactly who does that, and that's why we're here today. It's tragic that I spent the last few months advocating to protect education opportunities for preschool students. As a member of the labor union, when we participate in collective action, we have some asks. So here are my asks for you. 1, please share that Head Start preschool programs are in jeopardy. Please encourage everyone to keep fighting for early intervention. Right now it seems funding will be available, but who knows, that could change tomorrow. And my second ask is that each and every day, you join in solidarity with our preschool students in their daily routine. In their curriculum, they start their day by uniting with their peers, they practice some self-calming strategies, and they connect with each other to make commitments for the days. Their commitments, they use their listening ears. They practice listening attentively when everyone is talking. They use walking feet. They practice keeping their classrooms safe. They practice helping hands. They practice doing helpful and meaningful jobs. And most important, they commit commitment to use their big voice. And what that means and what we teach our students is they practice using their voice to respectfully teach others how they want to be treated. Pretty remarkable for 3, 4, and 5. I know some leaders in our federal government that could benefit from some time in preschool. I thank all of you for being here today, and I encourage all of you to think about making daily commitments. Please keep using your big voice.
Thank you, Beth. Thank you for the work you do. Rabbi, our next speaker has been Rabbi of the Joliet Jewish congregation for 5 years. Please welcome Rabbi Jenny Martinez.
Hey, Joliet! It is the Sabbath, and I stepped down to be here because there is no sanctuary without sanctuary. I stand here as a mother and a wife. I stand here for my Puerto Rican spouse and my Puerto Rican daughter. I stand here for all of us to find refuge in our country for safety. Food for the hungry. Shelter for the refugee. And education for all. Isn't that why we love Illinois? Woo! I'm a little emotional here. Just a little bit. I had to speak. Despite what's going on in the world, I have to speak because this is my country. I am a daughter of refugees. I am a daughter who arrived here unsafe. And I have been able to become a lawyer and a teacher and a rabbi and a mother and a friend for all.
biggest noise worth listening to. They're with us. They are with us. We have a very special guest. I mentioned the AFT, the American Federation of Teachers, the Illinois Federation of Teachers. The Illinois Federation of Teachers, 1,000 members strong. I'm honored to introduce the president of the Illinois Federation of Teachers, Dan Montgomery.
Thank you, Pat. Hello, Joliet! What the heck, man? The cars are lined up blocks down on Larkin. It's incredible. What a beautiful day. We're here. This is the original land of the three fires. The Potawatomi, the Ojibwe, the Menominee, the Sauk, the Fox. They're the native indigenous people of this country. The rest of us are immigrants. Every one of us. Every one of us. Raise your hand if you're the children of immigrants at somewhere in your past. Right? What country? Name the country your folks came from. What country? Every country around the globe. My grandfather changed his name from Polish because there was such anti-Polish discrimination. And he came to Detroit to find a job. All those black workers in the Great Migration came up to Detroit and Chicago. We built this country. Immigrants, black folks, brown folks, the Mexican farm workers, the grapes you eat, the fruit and vegetables you feed your children every day. Who's in the field picking those, doing that work? Who's in that field? Immigrants. That's right. We are a nation of immigrants. Yeah! That's who we all are. That Trump, I'll just say his name, Trump, he can't change that. He can't take that from us. He can't take that from this country. That's who we are. What you are doing today, standing in solidarity in Joliet, in Chicago, in Schaumburg, in Marion, in Springfield, in Washington, in Los Angeles, in every city, 2,000 sites around this country. Good, decent human beings of this, citizens of our nation, are standing up saying no more, basta, no mas. This is a democracy and it belongs to us. Who does it belong to? Say it with me. It belongs to us. It belongs to us. And we'll never let it go. Now, I'm a teacher. I taught 18 years high school English in Skokie. We had families, 65 languages, like Joliet, an immigrant, a community of immigrants and newly arrived folks. When you teach high school, you learn real quick that the entire world comes through those doors in school, right? What's happening out in the world comes into the school. What do? Every child that walks in, you all know this, we all went to school. You teach every child, no matter who they are. You love every child, no matter what they look like. Muslim, Catholic, Christian, atheist, Buddhist, Jewish, anyone. They come in and we love them and teach them. What country their parents come from doesn't matter. Are they here legally with documentation? We don't give a damn. They're a child. They're in America. They deserve a free and fair public education. So you need to ask yourself, why is Trump attacking education? Why is he going after higher education? Trying to get immigrant students out of our colleges, trying to end research, trying to revoke visas. Why are they attacking school boards and library boards? What is that about? It's about knowledge. They don't want the next generation of children, no matter where they're from, to have the same access we had to literature, to the arts, to history, our history. That's what scares him. That's what scares tyrants, an educated populace. Are we going to let that happen? Are we going to defend public education? Are we going to defend higher education? Are we going to defend every child in our schools, no matter what they look like, no matter what they believe, no matter who they love, no matter where they came from? This gives me such hope and joy to see everyone here. Joy is an act of resistance. Joy is an act of resistance. Hang on to each other. What we have as a movement is our collective power. We know that in the union world, right? That's what we have. That scares Trump and the MAGA world. We must stay together. We must demonstrate our care for each other, because that's the truest and the deepest American value of community. So let me end with this. I have a t-shirt on. It says, agitate, 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 from the Chicago Writers Museum. That's a quote from Frederick Douglass. And agitate is this. Agitate is when you go and you support your public library, your public schools. You stand up for the immigrants in your community. Agitate means we're going to come together. We're going to cogitate. We're going to confabulate. We're going to demonstrate. And we're going to make change in this country. We are going to make change. Say it with me. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Go Joliet. Thank you, Public Choir.
Dan Montgomery. I'd like to ask all the speakers and all the members of the organizing committee to join me up here, and we need your attention. Rabbi? Lorraine? Michelle? Senator Ventura? Okay. All right, good. All right, perhaps some of you have already seen this. I'll read you the headline on CNN. Minnesota state lawmaker killed in politically motivated assassination. Massive manhunt for suspect underway. Minnesota State Representative Melissa Horman and her husband Mark were shot and killed early Saturday morning in, quote, what appears to be a politically motivated assassination, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz said at a news conference Saturday. Minnesota State Senator John Hoffman and his wife were also targeted by the same individual, and each shot multiple times, Walz said. They have undergone surgery and are alive. Both were elected members of the Minnesota General Assembly, members of the Minnesota DFL, Democrat Farm Labor Party. I would ask Rabbi Martinez to lead us in prayer.
Let's bow our heads. Please join me. Dear God, whatever name that you choose for God, the highest love come into our hearts today as we hold the families of those who have sacrificed their lives for the cause. We send them love and strength. We hold those injured in the highest prayers for refuah shlema, for healing of the body, mind, and spirit. We ask that these actions keep us strong and that our heart is full of your love always. We say this together. Amen.
Take like a minute, everyone. We all need a little second anyways. Testing, 1, 2, 3, can everybody hear me? All right. Kind of hard to follow that, but I'm just gonna go for it. If you all know this song, and I think you all do, sing along with me. This song is called This Land Is Your Land. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. And as I went walking down the highway, I saw above me an endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. Come on! This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. Road and ramble, and down my footsteps to the sparkling sands of a diamond Kansas. And all around me, a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to New York Island, from Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Sun comes shining as I was strolling, the wheat fields waving and the dust clouds rolling. The thought was lifting, a voice contending. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. In the squares of the city, in the shadow of the steeple, little relief office, I see my people, and some are grumbling, and some are wondering if this land was made for you and me. One more time! This land is my land, from California to New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Let me fix my microphone for a second.
Can you hold this, please? Of course.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, this one's going a lot smoother.
I did get one.
I'm a Midwestern boy, and this is a song also by a Midwestern boy. I think his name was Zimmerman or something. If you know this one, sing along to this too. Okay, times are changing. Come down, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accepted and soon stretched to the bone. Time to you is worth saving. Then you better start swimming, or you'll sink like a stone. From time to your change. Some writers and critics who prophesy with your pens, and keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. Don't speak too soon for the wheels till it's spin. There's no telling who that is naming, but the loser now will be later when for the times they are changing. From senators to congressmen, please heed the call. We'll stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall, for he who gets hurt will be he with stone. There's a battle outside raging. It's to shake your windows and rattle your walls, for the times they are changing. Come mothers and fathers throughout the land, don't criticize what you can't understand, and your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. The old road is rapidly aging. Please get out of the water, you can't lend a hand, for the times they are changing. The line is drawn, the curse it is cast. This slow one now will later be fast, as the present now will later be past. Water is rapidly fading, the first one now will later be last, for the times they are a change. Alright, I got one last song for you. Sing along with me, please. I think you all know this one too. It's called America the Beautiful. Alright, ready? Above the fruited plain, America, America, God shed His grace on me, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining. That's all, folks.